I don't think it was one event. It was more like a process. You know, here I was 30 years old with a family, a wife and children, and, you know, I thought everything was going okay. You know, we had food, we had cars, we had clothes, and everybody had a roof over their head. And so I'm coming home and wondering, you know, why is everybody so sad and discontent? What is missing? I knew there was something missing, but I just didn't. It was very unclear to me what it was. You know, I'd never seen male leadership in the household or a father that led. So I was a very, you know, go with the flow kind of guy. And around 30 years old, I guess, I heard manhood clearly defined for the first time. And it was like, you know, somebody smacked me in the forehead with a hammer. And I understood at that point that there was a role that I was supposed to be fulfilling, and I wasn't doing it. And again, once we heard the idea of, okay, well, this is what you're supposed to be doing. What is manhood clearly defined? It looks like a man leading his home, being a mentor and a guide, and discipling his children and discipling his wife, and all of that was just completely foreign.
But with all of our kids, we would put them to bed at night, and we would individually pray with each child and sing each child a song. And it just got to the point where 4 or 5 kids into it, it was taking us forever to get them to bed. And so I said to him, why don't we just come together as a family at night in the living room and pray with them and sing a song as a family, and then it'll chop the time in half for sure. And just along the journey, we started including Bible reading in that. So it kind of started as just a time saver.
I was not much of a Bible reader. I had never spoken about faith to another person out loud before. Yeah, it was really awkward. I mean, I'm sitting in front of my kids with a Bible in my lap. I don't know where the books are, what I should be reading. Should I start at the front? Should I start at the back? And yeah, I mean, it's very awkward. I mean, I'm standing in front of my kids, you know, they're my kids, but yet I'm nervous to speak to them. Yeah, it was very awkward at first. But I think that we quickly grew into it. I think once we did it, we embraced it as something that we recognized that, oh, remember that missing feeling we were talking about? That was it. We should be doing this. And not just the sitting down in the evenings and reading, but the leadership aspect of it also. The spiritual direction that it gives to your family. I think, again, it's had a settling effect. It has firmed up to me the things that I should be doing as a father, the things I should be doing as a husband. It has firmed up to me, you know, where my children should be, what their responses should be like, what our relationship should look like. And we don't always get there. I mean, but it is a focal point. It's a goal that we reach toward. And it keeps our family moving forward in a direction together. When before we had a tendency to be pulling different directions.
Well, and I think the encouragement is, it's as easy as opening your Bible together as a family. You don't have to go buy a book. God has provided everything that a man needs to do that with his family.
But we hold each other accountable with it too, and I think that's the big thing. We both see the positive effects that it's had, and neither one of us wants it to stop. I mean, I think it's ultimately leading us to an exciting place, and you know, we're just baby stepping this journey. We're, you know, a very short way down the path, but already, just with the little way that we've gone, I mean, it's just made such a difference with our kids, with their level of obedience would be an outward thing, with how often we argue.
So I think if we could go back, I think when we recognize the enormous impact it's had on our family, we wasted so much time.
Mhm.
And how simple it was. If someone would have said to us before we got married, if you just read the Bible together one time every day, this is what you'll have, and if you don't, this is what you'll have. We wasted many
Yeah.
years overlooking something so simple.
But critical. It's like breathing.
Yeah.
So simple, but critical.
Like, there's honestly nothing that we could have done better for our family than started reading the Bible together.